Great song there to start the show. Stick around to the end to discover who that is and to hear the excellent full tune. You're listening to a Band of Gamers podcast. Hey, first of all, thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you. If you're new to the show, we're three older best mates with a concise podcast bringing you positive takes on the latest in gaming so you can spend your valuable free time doing what, Shane?
Enjoying your games, eh?
That's right. In this episode, Nintendo actively patching Animal Crossing based on fan feedback.
What?
Nintendo patching things. Evolving games online. This is a new development in the world. They're also getting ready to celebrate 35 years of Mario. So I'm sure there'll be some hoopla. But there's a rumor they might be re-releasing a few classics on the Switch.
Ooh, maybe that Nintendo cereal's coming back.
We're going from a Dual Shock to a Dual Sense. Sony announces the PS5 controller, and it has some interesting new features. Carl goes head-to-head with some demons, but it's not what you think. It's not literal. You're not out there battling demons for real.
No, it's not. It's not Doom, and that's probably what a lot of people are playing. I've got some different demon encounters.
And Shane rides off into the sunset. Not going to want to miss this, like we're going to miss Shane. I'm Joel, your MC, one of your three co-hosts, recording in a suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA. Joining me on this podcast journey from across the globe, these guys, my two best mates. First of all, from Vancouver, Canada, Black Bandana, Sweet Louisiana, it's Shane. Hey, Shane.
Hi, what an intro, man. You're on fire today. You're on fire, man. You look like a WWE, give them the mic or something. Wow. So, yeah. How you doing, Joel?
I'm good, man. Only took 2 takes to get that intro right. But yeah, I'm on fire. In Birmingham, England, bamboozled by the backlog. It's Carl. Hey, Carl.
Hey, I don't know what to play. I think I'm going to be asking you guys to help me pick something. That this backlog of games is unbelievable.
Really?
The wealth of riches. The wonderful thing, man.
Yeah, first world problems.
Daunting when you sit there and you stare at them all, right? Like, oh.
And then you got to crack another beer because you're still staring at it.
By the time you're done, you don't play anything. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like Netflix, but with games.
Nintendo. Let's get started here. They patched Animal Crossing to reduce the number of eggs so it doesn't interfere with the usual gameplay as much. Yes. Thank you.
God.
Thank you. To be honest, though, I haven't really played it since we last recorded because I was so sick of those stupid eggs. I'm just like, I'm done. And then they patched it, and I went in, and I'm like, oh, cool. Let me give this a try. And they're still getting a decent amount of eggs. It might have been reduced, but it was still a annoying nuisance.
Yeah, it basically means you'll get 1 fossil in 3. You still get a couple of eggs, but you'll get a fossil every 3rd or 4th. It's still not great, but only a day to go. And literally, by the time you listen to this episode, it'll all be a thing of the past. Woohoo!
Creepy bunny will be gone.
Creepy weird dude.
Sony is giving money back. I forgot to mention this in the intro. Let's do a third take, hey? Nah. So Sony is automatically refunding digital pre-orders for The Last of Us Part 2 and Iron Man VR, which they also delayed quite a bit. And they've also pulled them from the PlayStation Store, the online store. What do you think, guys? What's going on? Good move?
Well, there's states and countries where there's laws against pre-orders and whatnot, and giving refunds. So it's probably just to wipe all that stuff nice and clean, make sure there's otherwise you get some, you know what, I'm not going there. There's going to be some people that are upset and writing letters and, making an issue about a non-issue. So just wipe them clean, give everybody the money back, and we'll wait nice and patiently.
Yeah, classy move, but a classy move from Sony. I think they're kind of thinking, people need their money as well. It's a difficult time for everybody. I'd like to think that's crossed into their mind a little bit, and they're thinking we'll kick that back, and whenever these come back available on the store, I'm sure they'll be the same price.
That's a good point. I didn't think about the people needing their money thing. it went through my mind like, wait, you can pre-order these games like a year, 2 years prior. They delay it, let's say 6 months, and they're like, oh, here's your money back. It's kind of weird. I don't have a problem with it. It's a good move. I mean, it's very kind of them. I'm not saying it's a bad move. I just found it odd.
Well, it's indefinite delay.
True.
I don't think there's if there's a time frame then in mind, like you said, something like 6 months or whatever, for argument's sake, then yeah, I could see that being a little bit weird and whatnot too. But with everything up in the air, it's who knows? But that'll be good when we all get to play it. We'll all be thankful and we'll all enjoy it, and it'll be fantastic, I assume.
Yeah, on the PS5.
Here we go. No. Sure. Yeah, PS5, cool.
There's a rumor. I don't know how to narrate those giant eyes and that face you made, Shane. So I'm just going to go to the next story.
Yes, rumors.
Nintendo. Not a rumor. Going to be celebrating the 35th anniversary of Mario this year. Quite an achievement. Many games in there. Going all the way back to, I wonder when it started. Is it the Mario Brothers arcade game? Or was it Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo? Probably the arcade game.
Yeah, I'd say the arcade game.
First time everyone's favorite plumber appeared. But there's a big celebration planned, and the rumor is that they're going to be putting out some remakes of some classic Mario games on the Switch, that we could see a lot of those this year, including, some are saying, Mario 64. Great game. Mario Sunshine, classic GameCube title. Mario Galaxy is on the Wii. A deluxe version of Super Mario 3D World, which is a Wii U title, which that was a great game, and a lot of people didn't have a Wii U, so that seems like a no-brainer. There's a potential, apparently, for a new Paper Mario game.
Ooh, dude. That first Paper Mario game. Damn good. Damn good series.
Or maybe it's just a re-release. I don't know. Again, this is all rumor.
Yeah.
But with Nintendo's history of re-releasing titles, seems like a no-brainer. Seems like that's something they would totally do, I guess.
Yeah, and what better time?
Right? Any games you guys want to see? Or what's your favorite Mario game all time?
Ooh, that's a toughie. I think for me, probably Super Mario World. That was the one that really got me. Like, I played, I guess, Mario All-Stars when that came out. It kind of had like a culmination of 1, Lost Levels, 3. I think there's another one on there. I can't remember, but
2.
Oh yeah, Mario 2. Yeah, there's. Was that the one with the turnips? Or was that?
Yes.
Yeah. Which I didn't mind, actually. But I think when I played Mario World, I was like, yeah, this is kind of the pinnacle of Mario gaming at the time. I do love that game. But I would like to see a 64 rebooted, because I still think that game is ace now. And you wouldn't quite have the same wow factor that you had the first time you played it, but I'd like to see that. And I haven't played a lot of these. Like, I tried to play Sunshine, Galaxy, a couple of the others, and I just didn't get into them. They just didn't. I don't know whether it was the controller or the way that they were working. I wasn't really into the. I forget which one. The 2 Wii controllers. I hate using motion control, unless I really have to. So I'm looking forward to. I'd like to play a few of these just with a regular joypad and see how they go.
64, I thought was on the DS as well. They did a re-release at that point.
Yeah.
But it was just pretty much a
that
port.
Was a direct port.
Yeah. And this could be too. I mean, maybe they'll round up some edges. I can't imagine them remaking it. That'd be great if they did, but it'd probably just a port. Faster frame rate, higher res, very polygonal.
I suppose it just depends on exactly what they're going for. If they port them and just, like you say, smooth the edges over, that'll be enough for people. Because there'll be a lot of people who own a Switch who probably, especially kids who haven't had any other Nintendo console. It'd be great for them.
Oh, exactly. Huge.
How about you, Shane? favorite Mario game all time?
Super Mario World is probably one of the greatest platformers ever made, and I'll agree with Carl. It's probably the pinnacle of the series. I mean, it was amazing, but I'd have to go with 3.
Yeah.
3 was pretty wild for being on the NES. It was, you could do so much cool stuff, and it was like a totally new world that it was just amazing. And I sunk so many hours upon days, upon weeks, staying up, sleepovers when you're a kid, trying to get through that game. It was incredible. So yeah, I got a real soft spot for Mario 3. I think that'd probably be my favorite one. Yeah.
Nothing on this list about Super Mario RPG, so who knows? But probably not likely. I'd like to see that get a little lick of paint, and maybe a new one of those would be cool.
For me, it'd be Mario 3 as well.
Whoa.
But can I do a tie? Can I cheat?
Yeah.
64. Mario 64. It was really for its time, a great game because all the discovery in that game. It wasn't an obvious Mario title. You know what Mario is after the first one, and they just kind of added layers and layers and additional things and features with each of those new iterations of Mario until you get to 64. And then you're in this wide open world, and it's like, what do I do? Where do I go? Jumping into paintings, and you go to all these different worlds. It's just all these hidden gems. It's very much a discovery game. I loved it because when you got one of them stars, man, it felt some of them were quite difficult and hard to find. Just before the internet had all the game facts easily at your fingertips. A great game. So 64. I'll go 64 first and then really close second. Mario 3.
Great. We just knocked off 3 of probably the best Mario games. Easy peasy, just like that.
Yeah, man.
Which ones haven't you played that you'd love to play? Regrets. Which Mario game, if you had a Switch, Shane, and maybe you will soon, which one would you want?
Probably 64.
Yeah?
Because I don't think I ever played that. I never had an N64. We mentioned on last epi. And I really did not like that controller. I did not like that analog stick in the center, and it's all awkward. I didn't really got those claw hands, so a couple boxer fractures. So they don't grip those sticks like they used to. Got to limber up. Got to limber up, kids, before you play video games. Get those thumbs going. So yeah, I would like to. Yeah, because I know that's a big, like Joel said, a lot of discovery and whatnot. So that would probably be on a proper gamepad. I'd like to play that one.
That controller, though, revolutionary. Adding the analog stick.
Yeah.
First time that happened was awkward. But once you got used to that stick, dude, I think if you had an N64 and you played like 100 hours of gaming, I thought it was a great controller. It just took some getting used to. If you never had one and you just went over to a buddy's house and grabbed that thing, it'd be like, what in the hell is going on? But if you got used to it, Wave Race 64 was one of those games that just really got you used to the benefits of that analog controller. And the more
that Beetle racing one, the Volkswagen Beetle racing game.
Yep.
That was superb racing game.
Great game. But some of those, like
Absolutely.
Wave Race, just having those more of the smaller movements. It's not just right, yes, or left, yes. It was, you could actually just go slightly right or all the way right. I just loved that. It was revolutionary. And they had the Rumble Pack in there. That was the first time that was introduced.
Yep.
Memory pack you could put right in the controller. All right, being a fanboy, I like that controller, man.
No, that's cool, man. I just didn't have the opportunity to put a lot of time in it. Get a bit of a hunchback going, No, I just didn't have. It wasn't accessible. A friend had it, and you'd play, a couple rounds and whatnot, and that was it. So, ain't hating at all.
They're doing the GameCube controllers for Smash Brothers. You can buy for the Switch. Bring me Bring me back an N64 controller with that Mario 64. It would be really weird now. It'd be hard to go back to it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen. But for nostalgia's sake. For me. Come on, Nintendo. Right. Yeah. Little Blitz. Some NFL Blitz in there too.
There's got to be a third party that does one like Bluetooth that you could use on, like the Xbox or PlayStation and whatnot, just to fire that back up. Why not?
That'd be cool.
You wouldn't be able to aim, but
yeah.
As long as there's no Mario Party with it, that I'm fine, because that thing could tear your hand up. Just getting your palm on it and just moving that stick around in the middle, just burrow a hole in straight into your hand. I like that controller, John. Especially for like the FPS games, like Turok, and that thing was great. Like, it gave you a little bit of freedom that regular controllers didn't give you. But on first inspection, when you looked at that thing, it looked damn ugly and weird, the controller. But yeah, it's certainly handled well.
Well, you, Carl, what Mario game that you've never played before would you like to play?
I guess it's Mario Galaxy, whichever the one was on the Wii, because
that's it.
I didn't like those controllers. Like, I didn't like playing a game like that. So Galaxy, and I guess if there was a sequel to that one,
there was.
Yeah, so probably those two.
Galaxy for me as well. I never played it on the Wii, and I've heard such great things. And it's supposed to be like a spiritual successor to N64, Mario 64. So bring me that one. And I never
people get mad for it. Like it's a generational thing as well. For by all accounts, certain people say, Galaxy was the best or Sunshine was the best. Just depends on where you dropped, I think.
And I never finished. What's the one on the GameCube? That's the Mario Sunshine. Sorry, I had to go back and check my notes. Mario Sunshine, where he had the water pack, the flood pack, I think they called it, on his back. He was shooting water all over the place. Very different mechanic for a Mario game. Never finished. It was odd. But again, highly revered, and I feel like I may have missed something there. I would like to try that one again.
Yeah, it's another one that I missed out on.
Anything else you guys want to talk about with Mario?
No, that's some good Mario action.
Yeah, not really in this, but I did play on the Switch the other day. I played the original Super Mario Kart with Luke, and busted him up pretty bad. Like,
nice. Respect.
He got better and better and better as the races were going on. So I kind of cut it just before he got to the point where he was really competitive. But tell you what, it works so well. Like he bought his Switch around mine, and I had mine on the telly. Booted up the Super Nintendo online games. It's so easy to just jump in and create an online session. And he was playing on his Switch in his hands, and I was playing on the TV. It's still split screen on both, which is obviously you can't do anything about it, but it's a little bit weird. But yeah, good time. I'm digging those Super Nintendo games.
So we got a new controller for the PS5. They went from the Dual Shock to the Dual Sense. It's still a DS, I guess.
Yeah.
It's obviously a wireless controller for PS4. A lot of chat on the internet about this. A polarizing conversation. I put up a Twitter poll. And I said, what did I say? I should read it. So that new PlayStation 5 controller. Xbox controller form factor with a PlayStation layout, or an innovation that will enhance PlayStation gaming. And it was 50-50.
Ooh.
Right down the middle. Some people said Xboxy, that was 50%, and the other one, PlayStation enhancement, 50%. And I know my Twitter feed was all sorts of, this is great, this sucks, it's ugly, what are they doing? It's white, how dare they, it's supposed to be black. But let's get into the features of this thing, and I'm curious Shane's and Carl's thoughts. It does have the form factor of an Xbox controller. A little bit more of that form factor. Shane's tilting his head funny. Disagree?
I disagree when you look at it at that side view and you see that flow that it's got, and it's just got that. See, from the first image that you see in it, and it's popped up just straight looking at it, 100% agree with you. The sides kind of arc out a little bit, kind of, has that bigger kind of gamepaddy look to it. Yes. But when I saw that kind of cross section, that side view, and you see that contour in there, that's going to be nice. That's where this controller shines for me, is seeing how that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to keep the conversation going.
No, it is. It's just that contour blew me away. It's like, whoa, okay, now I'm pumped for it.
To me, it looks like an Xbox controller with a PlayStation layout. It's got the form factor, but the sticks are where they should be for a PlayStation. There's no offset sticks. Plus the white. I mean, the white sort of makes it look more like an Xbox controller. The color change maybe is just getting me a little bit. So yeah, got new color schemes, primarily white. I'm sure they'll have all sorts of other colors. So no big deal. The light bar is no longer on the back of the controller. It's now on the face. And like a little bit of a ripple around the touchpad, basically. Ripple, does that
nice
work?
And subtle.
Yeah. I like that color in there. The way that the color pops out with the light pad there. It's got haptic feedback. This is new, which is an enhanced rumble. Sony says on its blog, it adds a variety of powerful sensations you'll feel when you play, such as the slow grittiness of driving a car through mud. So the triggers will push back on you a little bit. Maybe when you hit like a brake, you'll feel the tension in the triggers. Perhaps when you're pulling back a bow and arrow, you'll feel it a little bit more. Maybe a shotgun compared to like a pistol or something in an FPS. I like that idea. Seems like it might enhance gameplay.
Yeah.
Adaptive triggers. And I got ahead of myself. I was talking about the triggers there with the driving and the pullback and everything. Haptic feedback's just an enhanced version of rumble. Got improved battery life, which means it's got a bigger battery. Hopefully it'll last longer. The share button is now a create button, but probably does a lot of the same things, I would think, just to be able to stream your games and everything, but maybe I don't know. They're calling it create rather than share. It's got built-in microphones. It's a little different. The PS4 controller's got a built-in speaker. I don't know if this one will have that. But this one also has built-in microphones. So apparently you can do like a quick in-game chat without having to hook up your headset. Maybe also some voice command capabilities in your games. Maybe you can talk to that thing like an Alexa or something in the menu. Who knows? That was the strangest feature, I thought.
Yeah.
It could be cool though. I mean, if Sony worked that into first-party games, if you can not have a headset on, but you can talk to the controller while you're playing the game, so say you're like, I don't know, playing a bit of a shooter, say there's a new Killzone, and you're like, okay, before you pick up things and it read back to you the intel you picked up and all the rest of it. This one you could be like, you could be calling in your airstrikes, you could be using your special abilities, but on a vocal command rather than the button press, which might not be a bad thing. If they can work it into games, it could be pretty cool. Even communications like walkie-talkies and on the phone or whatever. If they build that stuff in, it could be quite fun. It'd be a good thing to help disabled gamers as well.
I'm just curious how that'll work if you're for the in-game chat part. So if you use it for a quick in-game chat, are you hearing your friends then through your TV speakers? Do you hear them then through your controller? I'm just curious. I wonder how that'll work.
I don't think it's for that.
You got a bunch of randos giving you heck coming through the controller.
New reason to chuck your controller across the room.
Or even worse, you jump into a game and every one of them's talking through one of them. So you got them shouting and then button presses and stuff, and it's going to sound horrible.
I thought they did in-game chat in the blog post. Didn't they say they were going to do in-game chat in there? That's what I thought I read.
That's the way it reads, but I don't think that will be the main driver for it being in there. Like they're not wanting people to not buy a headset or not use a headset and use this. I think it'll just give that functionality of booting the voice operating the PlayStation and maybe some things in the games that you can use it for. But I think general voice chat, people are going to use a headset.
Was it Burnout Paradise that when you took down an enemy online, they'd throw the camera up of the player you just took down and catch him off guard? Something like that might be kind of interesting. Like you shoot an enemy and it automatically flips on. You don't have a headset in, but it automatically turns on your enemy's microphones. You can hear them like, ah.
Yeah, I remember Burnout when it would snap a photo if you had a camera, but then people would put up like photos in front of the camera. So you'd pretty much get teabagged. And you can use your imagination how that happens on the camera. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Burnout Paradise, man.
Can't teabag in audio form. Much better than the camera.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
It looks promising. Looks really cool. Love the new features and whatnot. I like the new name, the DualSense. It's time for a change. Change it up a little bit. I like that. I like a little bit of change. Yeah, it's gonna be. It should be decent. I can't wait to get a feel for it and feel a little bit of that weight and that contour and longer battery, which is much needed. The new PS button, in the shape of the PlayStation logo, looks really cool. Looks like something out of that game Detroit. Looks like something right out of there. So looks kind of futuristic and whatnot. It's cool. Looks good. I'm looking forward to that. That kind of came out of nowhere, where they just kind of dropped that with all their specs and whatnot.
I mean, I don't really have a horse in the race. I'm not biased towards Sony or towards Microsoft either way, really.
You have a blinking PlayStation logo behind you, Carl.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by Sony stuff, in all fairness. But I love the DualShock 4, and I love the Xbox One X controller as well. They're both great, both got pros and cons. I prefer the two central sticks, to be fair. I'm quite happy that they haven't changed the stick alignment. And it's a bit fatter. They've had a bit of chunk to it. I think one of the things that people had said was it perhaps next to the Xbox controller, it does feel a little smaller, a little lighter. Well, obviously, you haven't got two AA batteries in it. But I do, like Shane says, when you look at the kind of the side-on view of it, it does look, it looks like a DualShock. It just, they have tweaked it a little bit. I think definitely looks a bit more Xboxy in terms of the kind of the width of it and the contouring now, but it's got a better battery life. It's got a couple of extra bells and whistles on it. I love the DualShocks. I love the customization options. The interesting fact, I suppose, with it being white as well, is does that mean that the base console will be white now rather than black? Interesting, because a lot of people like the black console underneath the TV. So, it'd be interesting if they've gone full on white.
Yeah, I think it'd be that. It'll look just like the controller. Oh, you mean like a giant controller's going to be the console? No. Saying it's going to be white with that black and, they'll have a bit of blue there for the power light, and it'll just be a nice mix of the black and white on there. I think they'll have some nice accents of white, they'll look cool.
Looks like they kept the same angle for those triggers as well. A little bit of a downward slope on the triggers. I would have preferred a little bit of curvature on the bottom there. Nitpick. You see those in the store, those little add-on pieces you can plug on PS4 and PS3 controllers. I've always been a fan of those. I like having my hands slip off sometimes, especially when you're clawing it with the right and the left, or the right one, right two, left one, left two. You got to claw the whole thing.
Especially when you're drinking beer too. You get that concentration that comes off the glass.
Good point. Carl, show and tell. What's going on over there?
I'm just holding the Xbox controller up and compared it to the picture and just seeing how much, the contour on us. I completely get where people are saying it's very similar to how the Xbox controller looks now, especially the way that, that front-on view. It is really, really similar. But I guess when you put it to the front, I'm quite happy with the way that their triggers are contoured and keeping them that way. Be interesting. Interesting to see them two controllers side by side.
I like that they've added innovations, like Shane said. I like that it's not the same thing again. I don't know what that'll mean for using PS4 controllers on the PS5. I guess it depends how much the developers use these new features. I would think you could still use your PS4. There's a lot of people out there who have bought a lot of PS4 controllers. I've got every color. Well, now what? Once the PS5 comes out, is that just like wall art in your house, or what are you going to still use those things on the PS5?
I don't have every color though.
Not you. You do have a lot though.
Well, I have a couple. Like I got the purple because I love purple. It's one of my favorite colors.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just that controller looks deadly, and it's got the white logos on all the buttons, where they instead of being different colors, the blue, red, and pink and whatnot, they're all white. It's just really, really sharp. And then of course the orange one. I mean, that's just a piece of jewelry. Then there's the Darth Vader one, only because you couldn't find one at the time, and I found one, and I was like, grab that.
Did you even know it was Darth Vader?
You told me. I snapped. We snapped each other. I guess that's what the kids go. We TikToked each other, and I'm like, "Yo, is you lot ever seen one D's lot?" And then I just got a thumbs up back emoji, and then the next emoji was like the money flying away. So I grabbed that one.
I totally forgot you did run that by me. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Did I? Sounds like something I would have done.
Yeah.
I bought it.
I'm getting old now.
I've fallen prey to this a few times too. A new color comes out. It's like, I don't need another controller, but sure.
I look real sharp.
I bought the purple one. I like the purple one. I used to have a red bar in my basement, my man cave. I don't have it anymore. But when the red controller came out, I'm like, well, that matches the bar. I need that one.
Right?
You know, it happens. Good way to make money. It was smart of them to do it. They both do it. I mean, Microsoft does it. Nintendo does it too. I mean, they got all these weird, wacky, like Joy-Con colors.
Yeah, then you got the Kirby edition or whatever that comes out that people lose their minds over and all this stuff. You got to do stuff like that, right? There's so many people, so many collectors out there, especially in video games. You know, why not? But also, I'd like to switch a controller out every year, couple of years, maybe. You know, the sticks get kind of worn down.
Yeah, true. The battery life too on those things after a long time seems to really diminish.
Yeah. But going forward, looks like that won't be as big a problem. So happy to see some bigger battery, some longer life in there for all those marathon Uno games that we, the three of us, play together.
Can you imagine if they would have stuffed some AA, AAA batteries into this thing? Would all the PlayStation fanboys eat and crow on that one finally? They'd be mad, right? But then later on, they'd be like that, "Yeah, I love batteries. It's a great idea." Oh. After years and years and years of that being the only argument against the other guy's controller,
finally, batteries. It's got all these. They've been stockpiling these Costco Kirkland AA's. You know, half of them are expired now. They can't ready to. Never mind.
I still think it's damn weird that Microsoft still give you batteries. I do think that's weird. Like, it's not a big deal because you just buy a rechargeable battery pack, don't you? Like, and whack that in there. So it's not a big deal, but it's still strange.
Well, it's because they care about the environment, and Sony clearly does not.
So I don't think that's. But using and disposing of batteries a lot isn't.
And take them to Best Buy and recycle.
Damn.
I have got a giant bag of batteries in a Ziploc that every once in a while I have to take and recycle them somewhere. Yeah. I've got a city recycling center. They won't even take them. Look at no. Give you like put the hands in the air like we don't. What are you trying to kill us? We can't take those. What are you doing? I remember I made the argument once on Facebook about how I like the batteries in the controllers, and man, they're coming from my head on that one. Jeez. I just like when if I want to play a game, and maybe I'm like some of you out there where I'm not playing every night. When the mood strikes and I go to grab that controller and the damn thing is dead because I didn't charge it because I didn't anticipate that night I'd be playing games. Nothing is more frustrating. I just like that I can chuck in a pair of batteries and I'm ready to go. I don't have to plan ahead, I guess. I don't have one of them little trees where you hang a couple controllers on there on the TV stand and you're always ready to go. Trees. Yeah. Which they don't even make first party ones of those. So I've fallen victim quite a few times. So I'm going to play the PlayStation. No, I'm not. Controller's dead. I didn't charge it. It's been sitting there for a month. So I like the batteries.
Yeah,
except for the impact on the environment. That's not cool.
I've got a little Groot that you just put the controller in and he charges it up real nice for you. So you just take it off Groot. It's why he always looks miserable.
And the battery packs, Carl, they do sell those Microsoft rechargeable battery packs in black. Yeah. In black. So if you get yourself a nice red controller,
I know.
Not a good solution. They don't sell different colors of those. Of course, the Xbox Elite controller is rechargeable. The new one.
Yeah.
Great controller.
It's a fine controller.
Cheap, too. No. All right. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Shane, you're riding off into the sunset.
Yep. Well, fam, I did it. I didn't think I was ever going to do it. I probably said on the show I was never going to do it, but I did it. I have completed Red Dead Redemption 2.
What? Dude.
Yep.
You have like a month off?
Basically. Yeah, it took me taking some time off work. Second mortgage. It's craziness. But yeah. Figured with everything going on, take a week off, take a little stress off the payroll for a week and just get back and play some games, get a few hours in a day, and sure as dog do. Got in there and blasted through it. I was at the beginning of chapter 4, and it took about 4 days. By Thursday lunchtime, I was wrapping up the second epilogue.
So 8-hour days, like 6-hour day, like full days.
Not quite. I should have punched in to have a better idea, but it was probably about a good 4 hours a day.
Yeah,
and then do a couple in the evening. Try not to burn myself out with some of the shenanigans that goes on in this game. Even though there was a couple parts, it was really hard to believe where they were kind of taking that story. But stuck with it, and in the end, it's very good. It's very good. It's a shame it takes so long for things to really start getting, where they kind of should be for that game and whatnot. I always found with Arthur, I mean, you get a good idea of what kind of happens in the end. So I didn't have a real connection with Arthur because of that.
I don't know, so don't spoil it.
No, this is 100% spoiler free almost. So this, I just didn't have that connection with him. But there's some stuff that goes down in chapter 6 and whatnot, and it just drags you right in. Like you don't have a choice, and it's good. Chapter 6, the 2 epilogues that take place afterwards, they are quite long. There's some tedious stuff in there, but they finish it off making you appreciate everything, and it's it is excellent. But asking myself since I finished it, is it worth getting through those first 5 chapters to experience the later stages in the game? And I think it is. I think it is a game that if you getting bored of what's going on, stick with it. I was down to even trying to do like a mission a day for the longest time, and it was tough, and a lot of times I didn't do it, but when I hankered down and did it, I'm glad I got through it. I'm glad I got through it. It's still on the hard drive. They did right in the end. They did right in the end. I wish there was some things that they have done a little bit different to get to that point. There's a couple questionable parts of the game, but won't spoil it for my boy Joel here, or if you haven't played it yourself, or maybe you're stuck in the same spot. Maybe you got partway through chapter 3. Maybe you're partway through chapter 4. Put it down. It's worth picking up and getting through. It's definitely enjoyable in the end.
Glad to hear it. Carl, you gaining interest in getting back at it?
Nope.
Nope. Shay makes a solid argument there. Come on.
It does. The problem is for me, like I never played the first one really. I played a bit of it, got bored of it. So I have no investment at all, and I find the character of Arthur just so dull. And without spoiling it, like you know who is and who isn't around in the original game. So I find it difficult to get an attachment to a couple of these characters, and I'm like, I mean, I think I was probably about a third of the way into chapter 3. I think when I put it down, I think I was fishing out there with Dutch and someone else, and chilling out, whatever, in a new little town. But I just find the whole thing a bit, Western cliche. So many of the set pieces seem to be nicked from movies and different things, and I just haven't got any drive to go back to it. But I'm glad one of us has done it. I am.
Makes us legit. Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, only a year and a half later.
Yeah, ABOG, man.
Dude.
Right?
Legit.
ABOG, a year and a half later.
Joel just finished God of War, and Shane just finished Red Dead Redemption 2. Look at these guys.
Finger on the pulse, yeah?
Right?
You heard it here first. Yeah, if you can just hammer through, and if you could do it, you kind of chasing your own tail like 2 or 3 times over, and that gets so frustrating. It's time to pack up and move again, and it's just it.
Yeah,
it's like, what are you doing? But stick with it. Why not? You've already bought the game. It's not going to hurt you to finish it. So
I hope to. So I was about where Carl quit as well. Middle of 3rd chapter, end of 3rd chapter. And then like a year went by. Fired it up. Didn't really remember what the heck was going on. Started over.
Oh.
So I'm plodding back through it. I'm not even where I was when I put it down. But Shane, you inspired me. And my buddy Vince says the same thing. He's like, just stick with it, man. Just stick with it. The payoff is worth it. Just stick with it. It's a great story when you get there. You know what I'm talking about when it happens. So no promises to the listener, but yeah. I'm trying. I'd like to get through it. I might get sick of it again. I don't know. I'd like to get through it.
There you go.
How's that? Legit podcast talk right there again.
Who knows? If you get through it, Joel, and you give it a thumbs up as well, maybe I'll go back. But I've got too many big games. Like
chopped liver over here,
right? I know. I just thought the same thing. Shane doesn't, but Joel gets through it. Not my thing. I'm thinking of it.
If you both it's all about points of view, isn't it? Like if you both get through it and you both like to, it's 2v1 then.
Okay. Yep.
All right, let's start the show over.
I could use a redo of that whole couple things.
I'm finding it so difficult to know what to play at the minute. Like, and Red Dead, believe me, is not on that list of things. Like, I'm like, no, I want to get into it. I've got so many RPGs that I need to put the time into. So,
welcome to ABOG, episode 1, The Ballad of Arthur and Dutch.
2021 release.
It's 2021. Oh, God. To be honest, I've been rummaging around. I'm just jumping into Game Pass, man, and just having a little look at trying to pick up something different to play each week, and hoping that I can just get into something really. I know I'm going to end up going back to a big RPG, but we'll just see where we go. And at the minute, I tried to play Children of Morta, which I know a few people on Twitter have been playing. People rave about this game. It's a bit of a Diablo style game. On Game Pass on the PC, I don't seem to be able to get the controller to work with this game. So if anyone's playing that, give me a heads up if you can figure out how to get a controller on it. So instead, I picked up another Game Pass game, downloaded it, went back to a bit of pinball, haven't played for a while. And there's a game on there called Demon's Tilt Pinball. This is where the demons come in from the introduction, if you've been paying attention. And this came out last year. It's on the Switch and a couple of other formats, I think, but free on Game Pass. Nice and cheap, obviously, to try and get into it. I think it's like 15 quid if you want to pick it up on Steam or the Switch. But it's actually one big pinball table. It's kind of like a multi-tiered, so you've got different sets of flippers, 3 or 4 sets of them throughout the table, and it's very much a retro kind of arcade pinball experience. It's not a simulation. The ball has no weight to it. It flies around all over the place. It goes through portals and bounces off enemies and things like that. It's definitely not for those who are looking for a realistic game of pinball. It's crazy and complicated. This table is full of demons flying around and enemies to kill. There's like kind of little boss encounters and things, and parts of it are kind of schmuppy, bit of bullet hell going on. There's bullets flying out from these bosses and these bad guys that you can fire your pinball through them, but it kind of takes the pace off the ball. It can push you out of the way a little bit. So it definitely feels kind of more like a shoot 'em up in parts than actually a game of pinball, although you are still firing it with the flippers, and it's like one big piece of ammunition, I guess. By killing these bosses and stuff, there's different rituals to do, which give you different bonuses and jackpots and open different parts of the table and different little mini games and things. It's pretty cool. I kind of fell into it, really. Thought it was something quick and easy to get into. Ended up sinking a few hours into it and trying to complete the different phases of it. It's frantic and quick and crazy and fun. There's not really much about it that's very similar to real pinball. There's no subways, there's no ramps and stuff, but the ball kind of does its own thing sometimes, and the tilt mechanic in it is very different. You actually move the ball with the left stick. You can kind of just nudge it a few times if you want to in the air, and it will just push the ball across.
Nice.
In different scenarios. But if you do it too much, there's a meter that will fill up the screen or flash red, and then it will just drain straight down the middle if you do it too much. So a bit of tactics involved in there. But you need to do that because it's fast and furious and a little bit frantic.
Sounds like a good game. Is it kind of you say not like a typical pinball table, more like a digital pinball? Like I'm thinking Atari pinball, where you just got more of a flat surface and a ball kind of pinging around, but no like tactile ramps or anything to.
Totally. Yeah, it's very kind of two-dimensional. In terms of there's nothing raised, there's nothing that would be reminiscent of the current kind of crop of digital pinball tables. Very old school, with just different kind of genres thrown in there as well. It's fun and funky. It's pretty tough. There's 3 difficulty levels, and each difficulty level opens up more things that go on the table, effectively. But I've been digging this. It's great to pick up and play through for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes at a time, and just little bite-sized chunks. Fun game.
I hear it's got a heavy metal motif too.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a metal theme to it. Yeah.
Music.
That's not what drew me in, obviously.
See the music, like covers actual tunes in there, or just there's the motif metal?
No, it's just the motif. It's just generic kind of soundtrack, but there's no real world music. Like there was a Genesis game actually. That was it. Crew Ball.
I was going to say, Crew Ball.
Yeah, that the bit of a Motley Crue soundtrack in there.
The song's only played in the menu.
Oh,
they
boy.
didn't actually play in the actual game. Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, probably not the best game on the Genesis.
Last episode, we talked about Drive Club. Gave a shout out to Tim Paulin for those races he coordinated there. I don't know if you heard it. I don't know if that inspired him or if it was just the PlayStation Plus game right now as Dirt 2. But he's went ahead and set a few up for us, or one at least, for starters. That's pretty cool. Community members doing some racing there in Dirt 2.
Little score chasing, see whose times, beating who will be on the top of the board.
Right.
More importantly, who will be at the bottom of the board.
That's why I'm not playing, because it would be me.
Yeah, those dirt games are tough. There's that's a special type of hardcore for a lot of those. Mind you, I haven't played too many. I'm not big into rally, but the community's in on it. I might have to download this one and hop in there and save everybody from being at the bottom. So
I don't know. It depends if I download it.
Yeah, they're tough, but they're well-made games. They look beautiful. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out.
Thank you, Tim, for setting it up. And if you're interested, we got all the info in our Discord server. You can find a link in our show notes there. Join us. We get a new member. Thank you to Dora the Deviant, who just joined. Welcome. Got a couple easy PlayStation Platinum trophies I see here in the agenda. Whose are these?
Yeah, I banged out game called Rush Rover. It's kind of a twin stick 16-bit kind of shooter. You got your little robot character, kind of looks like one of the dudes from Portal 2. Kind of looks like one of those. And yeah, quick and easy, probably 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. There's a couple of tricky trophies you got to be decent at. You kind of complete, I think it's 5 levels without getting hit. So, but luckily there's an upgrade system and whatnot that you can do, make it a little bit easier for you. And it's a plat as well. So it's like $5. Get your PS4, get your Vita. I found the Vita version easier because the frame rate is lower. So the game's a little bit slower, and that is very helpful. I think on the Vita, it took me like 11 minutes. It was nice and easy and quick. So,
Ooh,
11 minutes.
nice.
I think I saw Carl looking it up there on his other screen.
Yeah, I'm downloading it now.
And then I came across actually a really fun one, Null Drifter, Null. Null Drifter. It looks like Asteroids, like that old kind of DOS gaming. Really, really cool. And it's really trippy too, because they have it's like black and white, and then the white will have like a little bit of blue and green to it, kind of really offsets, like messes up your eyes and whatnot. It's like, whoa, who's making brownies? I am. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it looks like Asteroids. So cool. Another one that takes, maybe a half hour and whatnot, but really, really fun game. I had a blast doing it. Great stuff. It's the same kind of thing where you got to get through X amount of levels, without dying. You have to complete, I think, the 5th level, and by then it actually gets really tough. But like Rush Rover, this game also has an upgrade system. So the first, 15 minutes, you're going to spend a lot of time dying, picking up coins. Coins go into your wallet and whatnot, so you can purchase those upgrades. Keep grinding, getting those coins, and in a half hour you'll have a nice shiny new platinum trophy. This one is not a plat, so it's just on the PS4. There is no Vita for this one, but it is still a really, really good game. I was pleasantly surprised after getting the platinum. I continued playing, I had some tunes going and just kept going, see how far I could get. It's just a really cool game. Gets really bullet helly. With the graphic style that's in it, where it's like 1-bit asteroids looking. The enemies look really, really cool on there, and that's just a great game. Really, really happy with this one.
Love Asteroids, but man, it's hard. So if you take away that weird mechanic of pushing up to go forward and actually have the actual twin stick control for Asteroids, I would be all over that.
Yeah, it's definitely that twin stick. Got a good feel. You can, move in and out of bullets well. It's good stuff.
Let's discover some new music here. Brad continues to bring recommended records. Thank you, Brad. If you haven't read his stuff, I encourage you to do so. Lots of great music to discover. abandonedgamers.com/blog is where Brad resides often. He's got a new article up over there for his last record, The Bomb Pops' Death in Venice Beach, but that's old news. Got a new one. The Suicide Machines.
Yeah.
To play Caesar is to be stabbed to death. This is a ska punk record, he said. If you want to give it a listen, contribute to the Discord thread, and then circle back a week later. He'll review it on our website. Maybe you'll discover something in there you like. Stop playing those same Guns N' Roses records over and over again, or whatever you're listening to. Get into some new music.
I've heard some good things about this Suicide Machines record. So might be one to check out. Might be, hey, never know. Might be a new favorite for you.
That's some great.
Get out of my Spotify playlist, Joel.
What's that, Carl?
Get out of my Spotify playlist with all them Guns N' Roses records.
Speaking of Spotify, I woke up this morning, checked my email like I do in the morning, and it said, you have just logged into Spotify. I'm not even using Spotify. I'm using Apple Music. It said, you logged into Spotify from China. Like, oh, good. Looks like my Spotify account was hacked. Fantastic. Luckily, they send an email and they tell you, right? I'm like, okay, cool. I caught it probably about an hour after it was hacked. So I went in, signed everybody out, which they put a little link in the email to sign everybody. It's really helpful.
Okay.
And then I changed the password. And I went with Apple gives a strong password choice, which I really like that they do that. Very long, complicated, hyphenated passwords. I changed it. Great. About an hour later, you've just logged into your Spotify account from Hong Kong. I'm like, well, how did they fit? What? So then I did it again. Logged everybody out. Came up with another Apple strong password. And then I've been checking email all day. I'm like nervous now. I'm like, what is going on? I don't even use Spotify anymore. At one point, I was a premium subscriber. So at one point, I had my card in there to pay for that. Just makes me nervous that someone keeps hacking my Spotify account. You know, I doubt they can get my card out of there, but very weird.
Yeah, it's just the process getting all that stuff, that unnecessary stress. And
so I'm not in your Spotify, Carl, but someone's in mine twice today.
Yeah.
Right? Got a lot of great feedback from the last album on the last episode. Played a tune, North by North, that Get Weird record. Continue to spin that. It is a great album. So thank you for the awesome feedback. I'm glad you're all enjoying that. You heard a tune there at the beginning. We're going to play you out with the rest of that song. The first track on Brett Newski's new record. Record's called Don't Let the Bastards Get You Down. The tune is called Grow Your Garden. This album comes out April 17th. So if you want to go to his website, brettnewski.com, get yourself a copy of it. It's available on vinyl. You can do an MP3 digital version as well. Probably a CD. I know he usually does that. He also has a release party for this. Streaming, like everyone's doing right now. Streaming live shows. But he's promising a little bit more of an intimate performance. So he's limiting the tickets and allowing some Q&A between the songs. Kind of a neat idea. Brett's always got some good ideas. No one works.
Be nice and interactive for you that have purchased tickets and whatnot to be able to ask questions. And it's got multi cameras set up, so it'll be first class experience. And looking forward to it.
No one works harder from all of the local bands and independent records and bands that we've had on here over the years. I can easily say no one works harder than Brett. He's been grinding forever. World tours, Africa, Taiwan, Europe. He works it hard. So he deserves your attention for a few minutes. Hope you like the tune. If you do, please look him up. Go to his website. Enjoy the show on the 17th. Support Brett. Longtime friend of the show, too. He knows a legit gaming podcast when he hears one. He's been an APOG supporter for years. And it's a great song.
Amen.
Here you go. Here's Brett with Grow Your Garden.
If I was inside the door of a payphone that don't work no more, I disconnect the dial, tone the soundtrack of being alone. Water and don't keep you strong, it works in spurts, but not for long. Your roots, they need some loving on. The soul can be a desert. Only you can grow your garden. Only you can grow your garden. If I was a lightning strike, I'd climb down every key and cat until I found some solid ground to plant a brand new life around. If I was the dirt beneath the sneakers on your soulless feet, I'd nudge you far from the mirage so you could see the water. Only you can grow your garden. Only you can grow your garden. Only you can grow your garden. If I was a raging tide, I'd have nothing to hide inside, and that don't get me anywhere but bludgeoned by the air up there. If I was on the safety raft that pulled you from the aftermath, I'd give your sleepy chick a smack so you could see the future. Only you can grow your garden. Only you can grow your garden. Only you can grow your garden. Only you can grow your garden.